But is polygamy in everyone I run into? No. I'll say, why not? Well, there's a law. No. Forget about the law. There's a law that could have same-sex marriage. I mean, forget about it. We're going to throw the law. When I debated two former Supreme Court justices, I said to them, if you agree with the opinion that the court reached, I said they wrote discrimination in their opinion. Because if you're going to open up the institution of marriage, have some fun already and open it up. Whether it's polygamy, bisexual, marrying, I marry a man and a woman, or I'm a dad and I marry a son or a daughter, or I'm a business partner and I marry a business partner not because of love, but for transfer of assets. If you're going to open up marriage, for heaven's sakes, open it up. And so that's our concern there as well, is the erosion, but also it violates the law of nature and the law of nature's God, which our Declaration was very clear about. Law of nature's God. And when you violate that, how can you then go to your state constitution, first paragraph, that says we're dependent upon God for all the blessings we receive? Well, my question is, and I try to do this for people who aren't like-minded with my faith, but tell me, how do you expect to continually to get blessed with great crops and great everything else in the state of Iowa when you constantly go against God's will? I mean, I know with my kids, I want constantly blessed. And I gotta believe, that's what you're doing. But I would love to see the polygamists go to court. Here's the other issue. And you ask what you want, but here's what I would say. April 3, 2009, the court issued an opinion. Now, they way overreached. They went outside their constitutional bounds because they said, Iowa will be a same-sex marriage state. They can't make the law. All 99 counties will follow suit. They can't execute anything. We're holding Iowa's constitution up to an evolving standard with each generation. They don't get to evolve our constitution. Only we the people get to evolve our constitution. But here's the deal. The court issued an opinion. That opinion has never been codified into law. The law on the books in the state of Iowa, which your representatives are swearing an oath to uphold, the law on the books 2011 is one man, one woman marriage in the state of Iowa. And here's another question. That opinion has never been executed by either Governor Culver or now Governor Branstad. Culver washed his hands of it like it was Pontius Pilate. And Branstad, not having a competition with him anymore, he just had to have the courage to address the issue. That's what.
Sorry. That's what we on the radio every second Tuesday. He's on WHO and the Afghanistan health thing. Yeah. So last time somebody brought it up, I couldn't get through. But the thing is, if only a couple people keep bringing it up, then it's easy for the opposition to say, well, these people are nuts. They only hear a couple voices. They need to hear a lot of different voices. They've heard one.
So my question to us is, and this is kind of the clue phone is ringing. In my house, when the clue phone is ringing, you should pick it up and get a clue. But the clue phone is ringing is, what are people doing same-sex marriages in Iowa? Well, there's no codified law, and there's no executed opinion. Because a court that can execute its own opinions, that's tyranny, not liberty. That violates the separation of powers. That's what we fled. And that's why, you probably recognize when I ran for governor, I said issue an executive order. I still would. I mean, why in the world would you allow a court to take your authority? And just to put flesh on this a little bit, here's what I'm thinking here. To date, we have sacrificed, murdered, our Holocaust of our generation, 53 million babies off of a court's opinion. If you would have had a leader, Nixon, at that time, if you would have had a leader stand up and say, not on my watch, see how things would be different. And so today, I mean, Abraham Lincoln, it was a court's opinion that said blacks are property, not human beings. It was Lincoln who then got elected president and said, not on my watch. And he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which led to the 13th Amendment, which led to the freeing of slaves. That's leadership. Nixon, that's not leadership. I'm sorry, Calder Branstad, this isn't leadership. What you're doing is you're allowing same-sex marriage to take place under your watch. Now, at one point you say, well, this is Calder's issue. Yes. Calder's gone now, guys. What are we doing? So to me, do you either believe this stuff or don't you believe this? Do you believe in the separation of powers or don't you believe? Do you believe in the law of nature's God or don't you believe in the law of nature's God? Like I said, those are fundamental questions. That's what this country's looking for today. Because if you get that stuff right, you'll get this stuff right. And if you get this stuff wrong, I mean, if you're going to compromise here on life or on marriage or on the Constitution, I guarantee you a tax break for the blue bicycle doesn't mean squat to you. And that's why when Barack Obama says, I'll no longer defend the Defense of Marriage Act, first of all, that's executive negligence. He doesn't get to make that decision to enforce the law or not enforce the law. It's a law. You should enforce it. But when he'll compromise a core value of his, which he says one man, one woman marriage, his faith, his heritage, his upbringing, when he'll compromise a core value for personal gain here, he'll compromise on national security. He'll compromise on his birth certificate. I mean, he'll compromise on whatever it is. And that means if you'll compromise on core values, I don't care if you're a coach at Jefferson strength, or if you're the president of the United States or a leader of a church, you should not be in leadership if you'll compromise on a core value, because you'll compromise on everything.
Quick comments. I went to the campaign finance website recently, looked up Branstad, and who Harold Dino is, whatever Branstad says Daryl votes. And just one quarter, there's $374,000 in contributions. So in Iowa, who runs the state? Mike Branstad. Huge contributor in that quarter was Tim Gill, amongst a lot of others.
Well, here's the deal, and you guys can research this. In 1998, when we passed the Defense of Marriage Act, Branstad voted. Okay? 83% of the legislators still call themselves under the gold dome, one man, one woman marriage. 83% of our elected officials say about one man, one woman marriage. And you can't get to the floor for a debate in the Senate. The reason is because Tim Field is holding the check for Mike Branstad to purchase the sign. Jack Kibbe, a devout Catholic from Colorado County, president of the Senate, is just, I'm all about one man, one woman marriage. Well, force Branstad to get him to the floor for a debate. No, I'm loyal to Branstad. Are you kidding? There's a guy who fears man more than God. So that's the kind of stuff you're dealing with. Now, if Branstad continues to behave the way he's behaving, which we believe he's not going to change, our number one priority for the family leader to be very clear is we're going into Constitutional Office to feed my Branstad. Even if I need to move that Reeser down there to do it. But we are going to find the right person who's, we just don't want another Republican, even though that would be an improvement. I'm tired of just another Republican. Yeah. Because to be quite honest with you, both parties have sold us out. They sold us out on sanctity of human life. They sold us out on traditional marriage. They sold us out on fiscal integrity. They sold us out on limited government. Those are big issues. I don't need another Republican. I need someone who believes what they believe in the conservative, and they're going to act on it.
What is our federal budget in dollars?
It is, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this right, because it's a big number. It is either 30 plus trillion or 300 and some. Right? It's a huge number.
Yeah.
And so when you talk to guys like, Ron Paul, Michelle Bachman yesterday, and we've had great conversations. The $38 billion.
Well, I wrote that out yesterday. You read the treasury? I wrote that out. $38 billion is a fraction.
Yeah.
It's a fraction. It's nothing. And to call that a victory is ludicrous.
And not only is it calling it a victory is ludicrous, but saying, again, and Michelle Bachman said, it was so disheartening because here you have all these Tea Party conservatives who are just going to go in and do the right thing, all that, and a lot of them said pro-life, pro-life, pro-life. They're the ones lined up behind the microphone. They're falling in line already. You know, this is about spending, not about social issues. And like, so you got Obama and Biden. Here's to me the comparison. Obama and Biden saying, I'll shut down the government. Have fun, Planned Parenthood. See what their core value is? We're not walking away from it. Our core value, we'll still give them money. And although we wanted 100 billion, we'll take 38 billion, and we'll still like the fun play. So who won that? And where's the victory in that fight? But you know, they're going to champion it as a victory that we stood firm and that we held our ground and we got it cut. Well, it's not there enough.
You claim to be a constitutionalist.
Yep.
My understanding of the Constitution is that Congress is responsible for our money. But we have a central bank. And that should not be an unconstitutional organization, the Federal Reserve System. And in that system, we print bonds, we pay interest on those, we get a debt for the privilege of printing money. Why not just have treasury bills instead of Federal Reserve notes, treasury notes, and just eliminate all that debt just by the printing presses from the government? And if you did that, well, people who try to do that, presidents, everyone but Andrew Jackson got assassinated. Let's get rid of this debt.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. Matter of fact, the Federal Reserve System is an unelected body that prints money at will. They call it quantitative easing. So we've gone through quantitative easing 1, quantitative easing 2. They influx the country with a huge money supply, which means your dollar, this stuff is not getting worth a lot anymore. The reason, get this, the reason why up in God's country, where I come from, Northwest Iowa, Sioux County, land just sold for $14,000 an acre. Why? Because it's a hard asset. You can't burn it. Why does Ron Paul say to Rand Paul, his roommate in D.C. now, when they negotiate rent, after they negotiate rent, Ron says you got to pay me in gold? Because he doesn't believe in this stuff. So what happens when you devalue the currency? What happens when your currency is not working? What happens when Geiger, one of his first days on the job, says, I'm open to a world currency? When his very job is to protect the dollar. And so you got Obama out there now saying, economically, inflation is stagnant, it's not going up. Well, when Bush was president, I was paying about $2 a gallon of gas. And now we're paying about $3.70 a gallon of gas. And projected to go to $5 a gallon of gas. When we have one of the richest countries with energy reserves right here. Per barrel, I think we have more than any other country. If you calculate all the energy we have available to us, it's right here, and then we can't tap into it. And then the gallon of milk, I don't know what you guys are experiencing, but even my Wells Blue Bunny ice cream's going up in price. You know, so maybe he's not experiencing inflation, but the real family's experiencing inflation. So I agree with you.